Well, the hair care product industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. The products promise better, healthier hair, but not all of them are living up to that claim. And joining us now with details is a hair loss expert from right here in North Texas, Dr. DJ Verret. Thank you so much for getting up early and coming over to visit with us this morning.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This is a big topic because, anything that appeals to our vanity, we can make a lot of money on.
It is huge, and hair products are a big business. Hair loss is also a big business.
So what's the connection? What kind of products actually cause us to lose hair?
Well, there's a difference. There's also hair damage versus hair loss. Now, the biggest culprits in hair loss would be hair straighteners that are used over long periods of time, both chemical and heat-based hair straighteners, and permanents. All of these are harsh chemicals which actually alter the molecular structure of hair. And I brought my little science project I made last night. So imagine that the pink is actually a hair, and each one of these is a molecule of sulfur, usually. The chemicals actually break the bonds between the molecules and straighten out the hair. So they're actually damaging your hair. And over long periods of time, it can actually damage the follicle, the part that grows the hair, and cause hair loss. Now, hair damage can also be caused by not taking care of your hair. So not using conditioners, not using maybe 2-in-1 shampoos, or using other lightening products or coloring products that may have hydrogen peroxide or other harsh chemicals in it.
Now, we're talking about damage, but at what point does the damage then translate into hair loss? What are the biggest culprits for women?
Well, the biggest culprits for women would be the hair straighteners and the hair permanents. Those are very harsh chemicals. They get down to the scalp itself, and they can cause irritation of the scalp. In women as well, they often will braid their hair quite firmly, and this can cause what's called a traction alopecia. So it pulls the hair out of the follicle, damages the follicle, and causes loss.
And that hair doesn't grow back once that happens.
That hair doesn't grow back. Actually, there's some, out in the blogosphere, there are pictures of Naomi Campbell that she has some hair loss in the temporal area, and the thought is it's probably due to weaves that she had earlier in life.
Okay, so what are some of the options? If you made all these mistakes, you started doing this young, what are your options once you've already damaged your hair?
Well, once you've caused a permanent loss, unfortunately the only option is a hair transplant, actually. And even for women,
that sounds painful.
It's actually not that uncomfortable. It can be done in an office. The results are very long lasting. Even women can undergo hair transplants. For women, though, that may have just been abusing their hair, it's not as full as it should be, then they need to start taking good care of it. They need to use 2-in-1 shampoos that have a conditioner built into it.
Like these down here that you're showing us?
Those down here, or just conditioners on their own. Women should also remember, whenever you dry your hair, actually using a non-heat source to dry it is a better thing. And
heat is bad.
Heat is bad, and if you curl your hair, curl dry hair, not wet hair. The sizzling will actually dry out the hair, cause it to be less full, less fluffy, and actually damage the follicle, cause split ends, breakage, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, Scott was saying he has more fair forehead than hair than he used to. The ratio is shifting.
I do. I want to talk to you
less
after
hair,
the
more
show,
forehead. What can we do? Get off the women here. What can we do for the guys?
Well, the guys, it's actually much more defined. You get what's termed male pattern baldness, so you get balding up here and back in the crown of the head.
And there's awful comb-overs.
And there's awful comb-overs, there's awful hair wigs, although there's some that are very good. They're termed hair replacement systems nowadays. In addition, hair transplants are actually very good. They're medications, minoxidil, finasteride, that men should use whenever they start to notice the loss so that they can slow or stop it over the long term. Because unfortunately, once you've gotten a lot of loss, then you're looking at a transplant, shaving your head, or some kind of hair replacement system.
Do these drugs actually work?
The drugs actually work. Now, they may not regrow hair, but the key to using them is to use them to slow or stop the loss. You have to use them for at least 2 to 3 months to see a result, and whenever you stop using them, you'll start to see the loss once again.
All right. So try to keep the good hair while you have it.
Exactly. Don't abuse your hair. That's the key.
Dr. DJ Verret, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.